What's going on, everybody? How are you doing today? It's your guy, DeMarcus. We're here for your motivational mix today with the Beta Project. YouTube, you can find us at Humble and Focused, all one word. And today is October 25th. And today's video title is Opening the Door. And we're still in Legacy Week, as you can tell. We're still here at Legacy Week. And today's quote is, "It's not what you take when you leave this world behind, it's what you leave behind when you go." And so that is going to be our quote for today. Today we're talking about Legacy Week. Dun 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 dun, Legacy Week. So I'm doing this a little differently today because I can't get both of them to work at the same time. So I'm recording off of two screens, so I can actually see if Facebook comments today. So that's pretty cool. So let's go right into it, right? So we often, when I talk about opening the door, you guys have seen people who have the courtesy to open doors for people. Whether it be a girl or a guy, whether it be standing there, whether they be walking through and they walk through and see somebody else come behind them and they put their hand out to hold the door while the person walks by. These are all a very big indication of your kindness and also what you're going to leave behind to the people who love you. What do I mean by that? Well, legacy matters. When you open the door, what you're doing is you're allowing somebody to pass through an opening that you've created. So when you get to the point where you actually start getting real legacy, to the point where you're leaving things behind, you're actually opening doors for people that are right behind you. You're opening doors for people who need to get through that same place you are, who don't know how to get through this one little place that you created, right? Now the other reason that you open the door, because ladies and gentlemen, you don't know what somebody's carrying. And that could be baggage of a physical kind. Whenever you see somebody coming, you actually open the door for them because their hands are full. Or it could be, hypothetical. Like, what is somebody carrying on the inside that's allowing them not to create and not to jump and not to move and not to blaze a trail, but instead they feel like they can't get into the building of the door that you opened or get out of the building that the door you opened. Ladies and gentlemen, people have things in their hands on a consistent basis that are allowing them not to be or not to go where they want to go. So if you're able to open the door for somebody, you should. There's an inherent goodness that happens when you do that. But the problem is most of us operate from an inherent selfishness. And we're not talking about, oh yeah, I buy coffee for the person behind me, or no, I'm really nice to people. No, I'm talking about like doing something with yourself so powerful that the people behind you have no choice but to succeed. That's what I'm talking about. Are you willing to step up right now and take ownership of your life and grow and go? Or are you going to say, well, I don't want to do this because it's too hard, and by doing that, you never open the door. But that opening of the door, ladies and gentlemen, you don't know who's falling behind you. There are so many people in our lives that have opened doors for us, whether it be Martin Luther King, Mother Teresa, Gandhi, whether it be, who else is, Steve Jobs. All these different people open the door for us to step into and step through. But the problem is that, are you willing to open the door for somebody else? These people knew what it took and knew what it was going to take to open the door for the future. They knew what it was going to take to go to the next level and open the door for the people following behind them. Imagine how different life would have been if Lincoln wouldn't have decided to open the door for the slaves and had to fight that freed all the people. We wouldn't be here. So are you willing to step up and take ownership of what your life is supposed to be in order to open the door for others that are falling behind you? That's what I need you to do. This is about opening the door. This is about legacy. The legacy of somebody walking through the path or walking on the path that you created for them, right? And so let me go back to this quote one more time. It's not what you take behind. Sorry, it's not what you take when you leave this world behind. It's what you leave behind when you go. So all I want you to think about, ladies and gentlemen, at this point in time is that, first of all, what are you leaving behind? Are you leaving behind something of greatness? Are you leaving something behind of averageness, mediocre? Are you leaving something behind that may or may not help the future? Or are you leaving behind something magnificent that whenever somebody else takes a hold of it, they can take it to a new level? I think of it like a basketball sitting on the floor of a gym in front of a hoop. Without somebody picking that basketball up and shooting it into the hoop, the ball will always stay on the ground. And so you have to be the person that picks up that basketball and shoots it into the hoop, because that's the only way for that basketball to gain height. So you have to be the one that's going to be willing to put the energy in to get that basketball as high as it can go, to go where it's supposed to be. So the first thing is, like I said, you must have something of value to give. You must. Open the door. Create something. Leave behind a legacy. The second thing is that after you leave behind a legacy, do something great. Don't be selfish and only work for what is yours, your family, your job, your money, your house, your kids. Work for something more, because at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, and you've put this work in and you leave this world, you're going to leave back a bigger, much bigger impact than you've ever thought it was possible. And that's what I need you to think about today. So ladies and gentlemen, create that legacy that you've always wanted. But it's going to take you stepping outside of your comfort zone, your house, your car, all these things that are yours. They are selfish, inherently selfish, and go into the we. We could do this, or they. I must do this for them. Those type of pronouns will give you a different type of opinion and a different type of view on what is to come in the future. And that's all I have for you, ladies and gentlemen. Remember, I believe and I love in each and every single one of you. This ends Legacy Week, so I hope you got something from it. Go out there and hold the door for somebody else, somebody growing up, somebody who can't open the door for themselves, somebody who's too weak, somebody who can't figure out how to work the door. It is up to you to put you into that door and open up that door so the person can walk through, because you don't know what you do right now with opening that door might create something that might change the world of that person, who then changes the community and the world as a whole. But it starts with you not being selfish, putting your own thoughts aside and opening that door for others. And that's all I have. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here. I appreciate you. Remember, I love each and every single one of you. Happy Friday. Be safe, and we will see you next week. Have a good one.